At the deacons meeting on Monday evening of last week, Mark asked me to say a few words in the service today about the state of generosity at Wilshire at this juncture in 2018. Later that evening, as I was watching the news, Pete Delkus was explaining to his viewers that we were on the verge of entering what he called the summer weather pattern. We all know what that means. In a word, hot. Predictably and relentlessly so. Still reflecting on Mark's request, it occurred to me that by analogy, we at Wilshire are on the verge of entering the summer giving pattern. That too, like the weather, has historically brought a certain predictability. As people travel, we experience somewhat lower attendance and somewhat lower rates of giving, with the unfortunate result of causing us to sometimes come out of that season in a financial hole and forced to play catch-up for the remainder of the year. So heading into that time of year is a good time to take stock of where we are in our giving. How are we doing vis-a-vis our projected giving and our budgeted expenses? I'm not going to get down into the weeds and discuss any specific numbers, but suffice it to say in broad strokes that through the first third of this year, that is through April 30th, we were doing quite well. A relatively small shortfall in projected giving was more than offset by savings in budgeted expenses, leaving us overall in a good financial position at that point. Well, unfortunately, the month of May has been a different matter in terms of giving. We have not done well, and we're likely to end the month with a shortfall in the budget comparable to where we were at that time in 2017. That is not a good thing. While there are many similarities in my analogy to the weather, there is one major difference. There is nothing we can do about the weather. We can't even accurately forecast the weather from hour to hour, much less control it. Not so with our giving. There are many things that each of us individually and collectively as a community can do to positively impact our current situation and alter the historical tradition of the summer giving pattern. For one thing, on a purely practical level, the various means of giving available to us today, many of which are electronically, allow us to be regular in our giving even if we are not physically present. The historic summer lull in giving should be just that, history. Last year, when we found ourselves in this position, we initiated a request that in the month of May, we give 2 times our regular monthly contribution. Should we do that again? No one has authorized me to make that suggestion, and there is nothing official about that. All I am saying really is that if you are so inclined and able, this may be a good time to give a bit extra, even if you have been giving regularly throughout the year. Now, on a more spiritual level, only recently many of us pledged in various ways and at various levels to be all in for Wilshire, which meant to be present, to be growing, to be serving, and to be giving. As to the giving part, we were asked to pledge our intention over the 3-year period through the year 2020 to be more regular in our giving and in ways appropriate to our individual situations to move in the direction of increasing our level of giving. Let each of us reflect upon the statement of intention we made last fall to confirm that our giving is in line with the intent we then stated. Discipline and regularity of giving can help us reshape the summer giving pattern and avoid falling so far behind during that period. Is our level of giving matching the generosity that God has bestowed upon us? During the All In initiative, we were told that our money was used to keep the church running, to feed hungry people in Dallas and around the world, to support missionaries at home and abroad, to teach children and youth, to to build the beloved community about which we have heard so much in recent sermons, to bear witness to Jesus Christ, and to create transformational ministries. There is tremendous energy at Wilshire today in all of these areas. But if the church is to be the body of Christ, the body needs fuel to sustain that energy. In part, our giving is that fuel. We've been at Wilshire for more than 30 years, and over that period, time and again, wherever there has been a need, I have seen the people of Wilshire rise to the occasion and meet that need. Our giving in December 2017 was just one such example. But let me offer a vision for a different kind of December. Rather than allowing ourselves to approach December from a deficit position, which requires us to dig deep just to avoid disaster, what would it look like if we approached December knowing that we were going to make budget and giving ourselves the opportunity to dig deep to see how far over the top we could go? We can have that kind of December if we generously take care of business in June, July, and August. We are all in this together. We can do this.